What's going on, everybody out there watching this? If you're a Ring of Honor fan, then hopefully you watch this. If you did not watch the pay-per-view Final Battle 2015, then hopefully you're watching this to get a review of the show, and I'll try my best to give you a review because I watched it on pay-per-view. First and second match I missed because I was eating some dinner. I was eating food, and I forgot the pay-per-view started at 8 o'clock my time, so I missed the first two matches and have yet to watch them back on DVR. Anyways, I started watching the Ring of Honor Final Battle into the beginning of the entrance of Moose against Michael Elgin. But the first match and the second match, I know what it was. I know who won, so I'll tell you. The first match was a three-way dance, triple threat tag team match. Winner, I believe, gets a future Ring of Honor tag title shot at the tag titles. It was a team of the All Night Express, the Briscoes, and the Young Bucks, all kicking off Final Battle 2015 on pay-per-view. I'm sure it was a great tag match, great three-way. I'm sure there was a lot of high spots and a lot of super kicks because the Young Bucks were in it, so you know there had to be a lot of super kicks in it. The winners of that triple threat three-way were the All Night Express, Kenny King and Rep Titus, I think is his name. Anyways, the All Night Express win to open Final Battle 2015, so I guess they're the new #1 contenders for the Ring of Honor tag titles. Up next, a second match on the pay-per-view, which I missed, but I have the results right here. Dalton Castle took on Silas Young. I'm sure it was a decent match, but I'm sure it wasn't the best match of the pay-per-view because I saw the best match, which was the main event. AJ Styles and Jay Lethal was the best match of the show in pay-per-view, in my opinion. But Dalton Castle, Silas Young, they've been feuding for a couple months over Dalton Castle's former boys that were taken by him. By Silas Young took his boys when he defeated him at, I think, the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I think it was called Best in the World was the last one on pay-per-view. This was a Final Battle. They do it every single December in Ring of Honor. It's a tradition. Probably goes back over 5 years. Does Final Battle, maybe longer. I haven't watched Ring of Honor every single year they've been in business. I didn't see them from the beginning, even though I own a lot of their early DVDs, and I saw the matches that way from 03 and 04 and 05. But in 06, I didn't see that much Ring of Honor, but in 07, in 08, in 09, I saw some Ring of Honor. In 2010, I saw some, and I've seen more Ring of Honor since they got a TV deal, I think in 2011, where they were put on My Network TV, the channel, if you have it in your city or state, wherever you live, it's called My Network TV. They usually put on Ring of Honor every weekend, or the CW. The channel, the CW, usually puts on Ring of Honor also. And I think that started in 2010 or 11. That started where Ring of Honor has their 1 hour weekly show. So, Dalton Castle loses to Silas Young. Silas Young wins. What does that mean? I don't know. For their feud in the future, I don't know. I don't know what that means for the future of the boys. I don't know. Third match that I started watching and turned on the pay-per-view around probably 40 minutes into it was Moose coming out, making his entrance to take on Michael Elgin. Moose came out with shoulder pads on, and a football helmet, like he was ready to straight up spear somebody out of their boots. And he looked like he was ready for game day Sunday. So Moose and Michael Elgin, they put on a decent match. Michael Elgin has more experience. He's better in the ring than Moose. Moose is still learning, but for a big, strong guy who a little bit reminds me of Ahmed Johnson, but Moose has way more talent and skills than Ahmed Johnson did. Anyways, Moose, Michael Elgin have a pretty good match. A lot of power moves were used. Moose speared Michael Elgin in it. I thought he was going to beat him. 1, 2, Michael Elgin kicks out of the spear from Moose. And then Michael Elgin hits, like, I guess they're calling them Elgin bombs. He picked him up from the mat, power bombed him. Then he picked up Moose again, showing tremendous strength from Michael Elgin. Picks up Moose twice, and then Elgin bombs him. Sit-out power bomb, basically. 1, 2, 3, wins and defeats Moose. So Michael Elgin wins. I had him losing in my predictions video, but he won. I'm not a fan of Michael Elgin. I'm just not. I think he's boring, but he is a good wrestler, and he's a great worker. He's a workhorse, even though I don't like him. I will admit he's a good worker. Up next, I believe, was the match. What was it? It was Adam Cole against Kyle O'Reilly. This was a grudge match. And before I talk about it, Kevin Kelly on commentary was working most of the pay-per-view until the main event with Steve Corino. And they kept calling him, Kevin Kelly kept calling him Mr. Wrestling number 3. I guess Steve Corino became Mr. Wrestling 3, and he's playing that gimmick. I think it's pretty stupid and lame, but whatever, he's doing it. I don't know how long he's been doing it, because I haven't watched Ring of Honor every single week. I haven't seen the show. I've missed parts of every week. I missed some parts of every show. Out of this entire 2015 year, I've probably only seen Ring of Honor probably over 25 weeks out of 52 weeks. So I missed a couple shows. Or I missed probably 30 Ring of Honors. But whatever. I've seen all their pay-per-views this year, at least, to do a review on them. And I have followed the storylines going into the pay-per-views enough to do a review and predictions on their pay-per-views. So, as I said, Adam Cole was up next against Kyle O'Reilly. This was a pretty damn good match. It was really hard-hitting, really physical, really stiff. A lot of kicks from Kyle O'Reilly were delivered to Adam Cole. And Kyle O'Reilly kept locking on the armbar, trying to rip the shoulder out of Adam Cole's socket, basically. Almost got him to tap out a couple times. Locked on the armbar. When Adam Cole had his arm hanging down over the top rope, he locked the armbar on him. That was a pretty cool move. But obviously he had a 5 count and he had to break it because Adam Cole's arm was on the ropes. So that didn't work. Anyways, as I said, it was hard hitting. It was physical. It was entertaining. It was stiff. It was pretty awesome. Kyle O'Reilly loses because he has the armbar locked on Adam Cole's entire arm, basically, ripping his shoulder out of the socket in the corner. And Kyle O'Reilly has his back again on the mat. His shoulders are down. And then Adam Cole puts his feet up on the ropes in the corner. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole wins by cheating, I guess you could say, putting his foot on the ropes, but who cares? He won. I was happy he won. I'm a fan of Adam Cole. So he gets the win in their grudge match. Next was, I believe it was for the TV title. Or no. I think a 6-man tag was up next. Alex Shelley returning to Ring of Honor. Maybe he worked earlier in 2015 in Ring of Honor. I don't remember if he did, but he probably did. Anyways, Alex Shelley working on, I think, his first Ring of Honor pay-per-view in a while, teaming up with Matt Sydal in ACH to take on the team of The Addiction, Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels. They are The Addiction in Ring of Honor, and Chris Sabin. Sabin, everybody knows Sabin's a former partner of Alex Shelley in TNA. They were a great tag team called the Motor City Machine Guns, if you didn't know that already. This six-man tag was pretty damn good, pretty entertaining, a lot of high-flying moves, a lot of dives from ACH over the top rope. They were pretty dangerous, but he always does that stuff. The guy could, if ACH didn't get caught and catched by his opponents, the guy could land on his head someday, and it could end really bad for him. So I hope ACH, doing all those high-flying moves over the top rope, I hope someday the guy doesn't get seriously injured, because that's why they're called high-risk maneuvers, I guess. I would never do them if I was a wrestler. Anyways, this was an entertaining, fast-paced, very good six-man tag match. Much better than the ones they put on Raw and SmackDown. And even WWE pay-per-views, when they put on six-man tags, they're not very good. But this was good. Alex Shelley was in the ring once. When Chris Sabin was tagged in, they were about to go at it, face-to-face. They were circling the ring around each other, and then Chris Sabin, of course, like a little pussy, tags out and doesn't want to fight Alex Shelley. I believe their feud will continue, probably in the 2016. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin will probably have a feud and wrestle one-on-one matches when Ring of Honor has their TV tapings and Ring of Honor house shows. They'll probably have a feud and have great matches against each other. I definitely want to see Alex Shelley take on Chris Sabin in a series of matches. I think they'd be very good. So, Alex Shelley, as I said, Alex Shelley, Alex Shelley, Matt Sydal, ACH get the victory win. Matt Sydal earlier in the match tried to shooting star press his finisher, and he got kneed in the gut, double knees right in his gut. That had to hurt like hell. But then he hits the shooting star press later. At the end of the match, he hits a shooting star press successfully on Chris Sabin and defeats The Addiction and Chris Sabin. Now, the next match was a Ring of Honor TV title match, where you had Roderick Strong defending against Bobby Fish of Red Dragon. Even though I don't know if Red Dragon is still teaming together, they're probably not. They're probably both single stars now. Or they both want to be singles wrestlers, and I don't blame them, because Red Dragon was a team for probably over 2 years or longer. That's a long time to be teaming up if you want to be a single star. You got to break away from your tag team partner. So Bobby Fish getting a TV title shot. Roderick Strong, this was a very, very good match. This was hard-hitting. It had a lot of great storytelling in it. A lot of great action in it. Roderick Strong, close to the end of the match, he ends up tapping out to Bobby Fish, but the referee did not see it. For some reason, they did the SummerSlam Undertaker Brock finish, I guess, where the ref did not see Taker tap out. Well, who cares? I don't really care that the ref did not see Roderick Strong tap out, because I didn't want Roderick Strong to lose the TV title. I want him to have a long reign as champion. So I don't mind, and I'm not pissed off that the ref did not see Roderick Strong tap out, whatever, doesn't matter. Roderick Strong ends up, after the ref did not see him tap out, Roderick Strong ends up winning it. After the ref did not see him, Roderick Strong gets the win and retains the ROH TV title. So Roderick Strong still the TV champion. Up next was the next second title match of the pay-per-view. The Ring of Honor tag titles on the line. The Kingdom defending Michael Bennett and Matt Taven. The Kingdom with Maria Kanellis. She's always with them. Everybody knows that. If you watch Ring of Honor, she's part of the Kingdom. And then comes out the challengers, War Machine. War Machine looked like, to me, when I saw them, they had some paint on this side of their face. They had paint on one side of their face over their eyes. They reminded me of if the Road Warriors and the WWE tag team from, I think, 2006, the Highlanders was their name. The War Machine tag team looked like if the Road Warriors and the Highlanders mated and had a baby together. That's what they looked like to me. They looked like the sons of the Highlanders and the Road Warriors. And they're two big dudes with really long beards. They look like they could be the next Wyatt family members if they wanted to be. Or if they came to WWE, they could be put in the Wyatt family. Because they got really long beards. They're two big dudes, scary looking dudes, tough, really tough dudes. I mean, if I saw them on the street or in person, I would not say a word to them to piss them off, because they look like they could kick my fucking ass, and I'm sure War Machine could, so I would never want to piss them off ever. Anyways, as I said, War Machine looked like they were the kids of the Road Warriors and the Highlanders. If you don't remember the Highlanders, they were in a team for a short time in the WWE in 2006 or 7. They wore kilts. You know, one of them had, I think they both had long beards. One was bald. The other guy had really long hair and a long beard. Their names are Robbie and Rory. They were called the Highlanders. Anyways, back to Ring of Honor Final Battle, tag title match. This match for the tag titles was kind of a mess because it only lasted like under 10 minutes and it didn't go very long, and there were a lot of botches in it, a lot of fuck-ups. Not really War Machine's fault, but whatever. I think they somehow Matt Taven hurt his knee and injured his knee, looked really bad. He was in the ring trying to stand on it. He couldn't even put any weight on his leg or knee anymore because he was injured. So Matt Taven, to me, the guy couldn't move around good. I don't know how he got injured. I think he got thrown over the top rope and landed wrong, or something happened where he got his knee injured really bad because he couldn't put any weight on it and barely do anything. Then the War Machine threw him over the top rope again, and Matt Taven landed on his leg on the outside and looked like he even injured it even more. And then he collapsed and he couldn't even stand on it on the outside of the ring. Then one of the War Machine, I don't know which one, but one of them picks up Matt Taven. The guy couldn't even walk. He was limping. And they lock him in a T-bone suplex and suplex his ass on the floor. So that sure didn't help his knee injury. And I hope it's not a torn ACL or MCL, because that would fucking suck. I'm a big fan of the Kingdom. And they lose the ROH tag titles really quick to War Machine, so we have new Ring of Honor tag champs. They are War Machine. War Machine are the new champions. Anyways, that told me when the Kingdom lost so quick, or maybe they lost because the match had to end because Matt Taven and Michael Bennett were injured. One of the War Machine picked up Michael Bennett on the outside of the ring and had him on their shoulder. They were going to powerbomb him, and they threw him. It looked like a powerbomb. They threw him into the guardrail. He hit the guardrail really hard. Back of his back and neck hit it really hard. He was probably injured. He looked injured at the end of the match, and Matt Taven could barely walk at the end of the match because he probably has a knee injury. I hope it's not a torn ACL or anything like that, because the Kingdom losing the tag titles tells me that they are not going to re-sign with Ring of Honor. They're not going to re-sign new contracts to stay in Ring of Honor in January or in 2016. I believe that TNA will try to get the Kingdom, all three of them. Maria, Michael Bennett, Matt Taven, TNA, I believe, is going to try to get the Kingdom to show up on their first show on January 5th on their new network, Pop TV. So TNA will probably try to get the Kingdom in TNA and try to sign them. If the Kingdom doesn't want to go to TNA, they'll probably have an offer from the WWE. And they'll probably have an offer to go to NXT, I heard. Because NXT needs more talent. They need more people on the roster. If they're going to be their own brand, like they should be. And if they want to succeed as their own brand, NXT does need a couple more wrestlers. Like at least 10 more wrestlers. At least in Maria would be nice on NXT to look at with the Kingdom. And the Kingdom could be a great tag team, and the Kingdom could be they'd be a great fit and a great add already to the NXT tag division, which is pretty stacked with like 5 tag teams already, or 5 or 6 they got. So the Kingdom looked injured, both of them looked injured. Matt Taven looked injured worse because he injured his knee. And that's it didn't look good at all. I just hope and pray it's not a torn ACL or torn MCL, because then Matt Taven will be out of action for over 6 to 9 months, and he probably would not go to TNA and would not go to WWE then with Michael Bennett and Maria. He wouldn't be able to because he'd be injured. So they couldn't debut as a Kingdom. At least as a 3-person team, they couldn't debut with TNA or WWE NXT for a long time. For like 6 or 9 months. While Matt Taven would heal up and get better. The Kingdom, they're a great tag team. I'm a fan of both of them. Anyways, War Machine wins the tag titles. Good for them. I don't know who the hell Ring of Honor is going to put up against War Machine to take the titles, and who's going to challenge them, because they look like they could destroy any team in Ring of Honor. I mean, you could have the Briscoes go against the War Machine, but the Briscoes have had the titles enough already. Now the main event. See how long, 22 minutes this video's been. Main event now. And if I'm talking like quick, I kind of want to end it because I just came from outside. I was just out with my girlfriend and walking from my car into my house. It was really cold out, and my throat is pretty damn sore from the cold weather. I guess some of the cold air got down my throat or something weird. I feel like I'm getting a cold, so I want to end soon. Main event now for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. Not that you people should care or feel sorry for me if I am sick. Not that you should really care, because it's not your problem. I'm just saying, if my voice sounds stuffed up and weird and different, it's because I was outside in the cold ass air. Main event now, Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Jay Lethal defending against the phenomenal AJ Styles. This was very good. This was a great way to end Final Battle. It was a hell of a main event, hell of a match by 2 tremendous, talented workers and talented wrestlers. 2 of the very best in the wrestling business today is Jay Lethal and AJ Styles. Jay Lethal, I believe, is 30 years old, or 31 or 30. I think AJ's 34, 35 maybe. I could be wrong about AJ's age, but I think he's over 33. They're both the main point I'm trying to make is AJ and Jay Lethal are both in their fucking prime right now. They're in their prime. And they will be still in their prime probably till they're in their 40s. Or at least they'll probably slow down a lot more when they hit 43 or something like that. That's just my guess, because when Ric Flair went to the WWF in 91, 92, Ric Flair, I believe, was 41 or 42 or 43, one of those, and he was still in his prime. In my opinion, in 91, 92, Ric Flair's WWF run, the guy was still in his prime, in his early 40s, in my opinion. He was. I mean, just look what he did in the 92 Royal Rumble. Ric Flair lasted a damn long time for being in his 40s. And he didn't get blown up or tired. So the main event, as I said, is very, very good. It was a very good main event. Very good world title match to end the year off right in Ring of Honor on pay-per-view Final Battle. Jay Lethal did some great, great stuff in this match. The guy's a great heel. The guy's a great champion as a heel. I damn sure hope they keep him as a heel for a couple years, because he's damn good at it. And he's a damn good world champion. He just won the world title in the title for title match at a Ring of Honor pay-per-view in the summer against one of the Briscoes. I forget which Briscoe. I think it was Mark Briscoe against Jay Lethal. TV title against world title. Jay Lethal won the world title in the summer. So, he's been a great champion so far. We're into December. He's still the champion. And I'm going to just talk about a couple things that happened in this match. A couple spots that were pretty awesome and vicious and pretty brutal. One of them, they kept talking about, explaining the announcers, the commentators. Jerry Lynn came out as a special guest commentator for the world title match. And Nigel McGuinness came out to do commentary also for the main event with Kevin Kelly. Steve Corino wearing his stupid Mr. Wrestling 3 mask. He left. For some reason he didn't do commentary. And then before the match started, BJ Whitmore tried to sit down and do commentary. And Kevin Kelly started yelling at him to get out of here, that he didn't belong here. And then security took away BJ Whitmore. So Nigel McGuinness, Jerry Lynn, Kevin Kelly called the main event. They did a pretty damn good job at calling it as a 3-man team. They're much better than JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry Lawler are on pay-per-views. They're annoying. But I do like Byron Saxton. I think he does a good job on Raw. He doesn't annoy me. So, Jerry Lynn, former Ring of Honor World Champion. That's probably why he was there as a guest commentator. Nigel McGuinness, former Ring of Honor World Champion. Jerry Lynn, also former ECW World Heavyweight Champion in the original ECW, not the WWE's weak-ass ECW. That was just a failure, in my opinion. So, during this match, they were talking about AJ Styles had a back injury, and he almost wasn't going to make Final Battle. He wasn't going to be able to compete and defend the title, but he did. He made it to the match, and he said he was 100% healthy, and he wasn't injured. He didn't have his back injury anymore. Well, I find that really hard to believe, because a great wrestler like Ricky Steamboat had a back injury, and I guess he could have rehabbed and came back, but he decided to retire in his 40s when he could have probably wrestled for another 5 years and been pretty damn good, because Ricky Steamboat probably could have a good match with anybody with his eyes closed. He was that good. Another guy, Shawn Michaels, had a severe back injury, worked WrestleMania 14 really injured. He had to retire for 4 years, and he stayed out wrestling for 4 years until he got the urge to come back. I don't know if Shawn Michaels was asked by Vince. I don't know if he was called up by Triple H or Vince and asked if he would work with Triple H at SummerSlam. And maybe Shawn Michaels agreed to just do one match to see if he still could do it, and loved it. And obviously then he came back full time in 03 and 04 and 05 and 06 and every other year after that. Anyways, they were talking about AJ had an injured back. I don't know how bad his back injury is, but it seems, how they were talking about it, seems pretty severe. But he did work the match, and he put on a pretty damn good performance with Jay Lethal helping and carrying a lot of the match. AJ's on the ring apron on the outside once, and Lethal, I believe, pulled his legs from under him in AJ's back. He took a back bump against a ring apron. Now, that looked brutal because a ring apron is one of the hardest parts of the ring. If you know anything about wrestling rings, a ring apron is one of the hardest parts of the ring. Not saying the other parts aren't hard, because they probably are. But they have more give in them. They move and bounce up and down because the spring in the middle of the ring. Anyways, AJ takes a pretty vicious looking back bump on the ring apron, and then Jay Lethal during the match throws AJ. Basically, I think he hit him, and then AJ flew into the first row over the guardrail. That was pretty brutal and pretty awesome spot. And then Jay Lethal did a dive through the second rope, took out AJ, and then AJ flew over the guardrail. And then Jay Lethal tried it again, his dive through the second rope. Whatever they call that move, I don't know, but it's just a dive through the second rope, and he lands on his feet. Jay Lethal has done that many, many times since he's been in Ring of Honor. So, he tries to do it again. Jay Lethal dives through the second rope. AJ gets up, jumps off the guardrail, and delivers a forearm elbow shot. As Jay Lethal's coming out, AJ goes like this, drills him, knocks Jay Lethal down to the outside onto the mat. That was an awesome spot. Again, Jay Lethal, the second time he tried to dive through the second rope, AJ jumped off the guardrail and delivered a flying forearm. It was awesome. Crowd popped. Crowd loved it. They started chanting, "Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit." And they were doing "This is awesome" chants and "This is wrestling" chants. Great. The crowd was really into the show. It was in Philadelphia, just where Raw was. But Ring of Honor, they go to Philly a lot. I mean, it feels like they're always in Philadelphia every, 2 or 3 months. Whatever. They run Philadelphia a lot. I guess they have a lot of success there with tickets being sold, so they keep going back. That makes sense. So the crowd was into the show, most of it. A lot of the fans in Philadelphia are fucking hardcore, passionate, insane wrestling fans. They got my respect forever. Especially the old ECW fans. Those fans they loved ECW and they loved their wrestling. And they also loved their blood and guts. Anyways, before the main event, Veda Scott came out on the microphone and cut some promo about how she wasn't allowed on the pay-per-view, and she was with Cedric Alexander, I believe. She's managing him now, and he's a heel because he turned on Moose, and they had a little mini feud. So Veda Scott was on the mic talking, and Philadelphia started chanting, "Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up." So, yeah, great reaction all night at Final Battle from the Philly fans. They were great. They definitely helped the show because, as I said many times, and it will always be true, when you have a great, passionate, loud, angry crowd that's into the show that they're watching, it makes the show better to watch. It just does. That's a fact. So AJ, I told you the spots. He took a vicious back bump off the ring apron. Then he dove into the crowd after getting hit with Jay Lethal's dive. Then Jay Lethal tried to dive again. And AJ jumped off the guardrail, delivered a flying forearm. Then back in the ring. Great action. Jay Lethal hits the fatal, what the hell is this finisher called? I cannot remember now. I think it's called the fatal injection, or I cannot remember his finisher, what the name of it is. I know the name of it, I just can't remember right now. Fatal, I think it's called the fatal injection or something like that. It doesn't really matter. He does a springboard into a stunner, or into RKO basically, or into a diamond cutter, or into a Bubba cutter, or whatever you want to call it. He does a springboard into a diamond cutter. AJ kicks out. Crowd's pretty shocked. I was pretty shocked. I thought AJ was not going to kick out, but he did. But then Jay does it again. He hits his finisher a second time. 1, 2, 3. Jay Lethal wins and retains a Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. Tyler Hendricks was accompanied Jay Lethal to ringside with Truth Martini. I guess Tyler Hendricks is in the House of Truth. I didn't really know that because I don't pay attention to Ring of Honor TV every single week. I haven't seen her on the show, but she's obviously in Ring of Honor now. Is Tyler Hendricks, former TNA Knockout for a short time, and before that she was in Ohio Valley Wrestling. So Tyler Hendricks was wearing like a white dress tonight at Final Battle, and she looked pretty damn sexy, and she has a great ass. That's all I'll say about Tyler Hendricks, and she's a talented wrestler also. She's a very talented women's wrestler. Not only does she have the looks, but she's also a great wrestler. So, Jay Lethal retains. The only title that changed hands was a Ring of Honor Tag Titles. Final Battle 2015 pay-per-view. If I would give it a grade, I would just give it a C+. And it'd probably be a B-, but during the War Machine Kingdom match, I think there were a lot of botches there from the War Machine team, doing a lot of botches and probably injuring the Kingdom. Both of the Kingdom guys. You know what I'm talking about, Matt Taven and Matt Bennett, or Michael Bennett, I think's his name. I always think his name is Matt Bennett for some reason, but I think it's Michael Bennett, and I know it's Matt Taven. So they got injured probably because the War Machine did a botch. I didn't really see where they exactly got injured. I know off that powerbomb against the guardrail, that probably injured Michael Bennett right there, and I think Matt Taven just fell on his leg and jammed his knee and injured his knee by falling on his leg wrong, or landing wrong, or it probably wasn't his fault. Anyways, I said Final Battle 2015 grade, I give it a C+. I'm going to go back and watch the first and second match of the pay-per-view because I didn't see it yet. Anyways, hope you enjoyed my Final Battle 2015 pay-per-view review. The next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, I think, is in until the summer. The summer of 2016. I think it's in June. Their 14th anniversary, I think it is. The 14th anniversary. And that's in the summer on pay-per-view. So, hope you all enjoy my Ring of Honor Final Battle 2015 pay-per-view review. Sorry I went 39 minutes. Follow me on Twitter at TNA WWE Guy. Bye for now.